What's up, guys? We have a brand new archetype that just got revealed and a bunch of new support for the Valmonicas. So let's go and check these out and see if they are actually going to be any good. So starting right off, looks like it's, well, at least one of the monsters is a pendulum. I don't know if it's a whole pendulum archetype, but let's get started with the first card. This is Angelo Valmonica. So this is a Dark Fairy pendulum, effect level 4. It's a pendulum scale of 3, 1200 attack, 21 defense points, and its pendulum effect reads: while you have a Fiend monster card in your other pendulum zone, each time you gain life points, place one resonance counter on this card. The second part says, once per turn, when an opponent's monster declares an attack, you can, immediately after this effect resolves, link summon one Valmonica monster. Okay, so I mean, this effect, it has some potential, but obviously if you're going to be able to make anything good in the archetype, they would just get rid of this card before anything would actually happen. Therefore, you can't really do anything. And then as far as the counters, I don't know how good these counters are, so it's got some maybe potential with the second effect though. Anyways, the monster effect is that you can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part is, if this card is in your hand, you can discard one other card to place this card and one Nipomo Valmonica from your deck in your pendulum zone. I mean, that's instant scale. That's pretty good. Second part is, during the main phase, if this card was normal or special summon this turn, you can banish one Valmonica normal spell / trap from your graveyard. This effect becomes that card's life points gain effect when that card is activated. What? Okay, so this effect becomes gain that card's life points gain effect. So it has to have a life point gain effect on the, or it gains life points equal to its stats. I don't know that. Okay, that's a very strange like wording of it. Again, sometimes maybe early translation. So I'm guessing that it's whatever it would normally gain in terms of the effect of it. So let's go ahead and check out the other one. So this is the Nipomo Valmonica. It's a light pendulum effect, level 4, pendulum scale 5, 1221. Pendulum effect is, while you have a fairy monster card in your other pendulum zone, each time you take effect damage, place one resonance counter on this card. Second part says, monsters your opponent controls lose 100 attack for each resonance counter on cards you control. Okay, so the whole point is to gain life points and then you reduce the stats. You know what this is basically like? It's like Pumpkin Princess, or just like, it's like a stall maybe. But like, how viable is that in 2023? You get, oh, let's see. With the Link monster, maybe it'll be a little bit more viable. Anyways, next up though, you can only use the first and second monster effect of this card's name each once per turn. So the first part says, if this card is in your hand, you can discard one other card to place this card and Angelo Valmonica from your deck in your pendulum. So it's easy completion here. Second part is, during the main phase, this card is normal or special summon this turn, you can banish one Valmonica normal spell / trap from your graveyard. This effect becomes that card's damage inflict when that card is activated. Okay, so maybe people will try to do like Dark Room of Nightmare or some sort of burn. That was like the only way you were able to make like burn decks. You'd have to try to like get a bunch of damages, keep on stacking, and then getting that effect of like Dark Room. But anyways, this is maybe one of their boss monsters. This is the odd deity of Valmonica, Yugioh. So here is the artwork on this. It looks like it's a Link. Oh, Link 1 with 25 is not bad. So it is a Dark Fairy Link effect, 2500 attack, and its Link is in the bottom left, and it requires one effect monster. It says it cannot be linked summoned unless you have a fairy monster with 3 or more resonance counters in your pendulum zone. You can only special summon odd deity of Valmonica Yugioh once per turn. First part says, if this card is linked summoned, you can target monsters your opponent controls up to the number of resonance counters on cards in your pendulum zones and destroy them. That seems like it has potential. So basically, it comes out, and for the summoning condition, you gotta have 3 or more, and it comes out, and you could just pop 3 of your opponent's cards. That could be pretty good. And the second part is, you could remove 3 resonance counters from cards in your pendulum zones, and this card can make a second and third attack during each battle phase of this turn. So you gotta pop everything and try to go for OTK. The unfortunate part is, it is just so shy, because it's basically what? Attacking twice would be 5,000, and then if it attacks again, that's 7,500. So it's just, if it had that extra amount, but maybe that burn damage will kick in and make it worthy. So next up, we have the Divine Oddity of Valmonica Zebu Farah. So this is a Light Fiend effect, the 2500 attack, Link 1, and it's in the bottom right. So bottom left and bottom right. And its summoning condition is the exact same. We're going to have 3 or more counters in your pendulum zone. You can only summon them once per turn. Is this also once per turn? Okay, so this is also once per turn. So you can just summon and instantly just go for both, right? Was this like once per turn or when summon? Oh, if this card is link summoned. So it has to Beeling summon to destroy everything, and only when you remove, that's when you get to attack. Okay, and you don't have to remove the counters, right? To summon it. Just double checking on here, because like this is pretty good. You summon it, you pop 3, and they can attack 3 times, but you have to remove the counters to get that effect. So this card, you just have to have 3, and then if it would be short of battle or card effect, you can remove 3 counters from your cards in your pendulum zone instead. And then once during your opponent's turn, as a quick effect, you get to target one of your Valmonica normal spells or traps that is banished from graveyard. Effects becomes that effects when that card is activated. Okay, so that could be actually pretty nice, and especially since the first part of the effect is that you get to instantly just go for one of them, right? Where it's like it was like the first monster over here, but that is the pend effect. Then I have to declare attack. So I'm wondering, you could just link someone with just any effect monster, right? It doesn't even have to become. I mean, obviously you have to have 3 counters, but you can just summon, I don't know, Battle Fader, or I don't know, anything that just special summons itself in general would be okay. Next up, though, the other card we're looking at is their field spell. So this is called the Angelic Demonic Selector of Valmonica. So here is the artwork on this. So it says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. So the first part is when this card resolves, add a Valmonica monster from your deck to your hand. The second part is if the third resonance counter is placed in on a card in your pendulum zone, you get to target 1 monster your opponent controls and take control over it until the end phase, but it can't attack. So this becomes even more insane. Just making it so I can just snatch the other monster and then convert it into my link monster, because any effect monster. That is actually very powerful for the deck, but it all comes down to how good their spawn trap is. And I think this is just some lore. I'm really here just go over the effects. Alright, so Valmonica Versaire, which is a normal spell card, says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. So the first part is apply one of these effects, your opponent's choice, if you do not have a Valmonica card in your pendulum zone. So you get to gain 500 life points, then you can activate cards on the top of your deck until you activate a Valmonica card. And if you do, as your hand, also shuffle the rest back into the deck. Okay. If it didn't have this part, it just stayed in the graveyard, I'd just be like, all right, I'm gonna slam this and just basically have another variant of grass, right? So next up we have take 500 damage, then you get to send a Valmonica card from your deck to the graveyard, except for Valmonica Versaire. Remember, you banished to get copy effects, so let's see what the rest of these are. So the next one is you can only activate 1 card as cards in per turn, so you get to apply one of these effects, your opponent's choice, if you do not have that Valmonica card in your pendulum zone. So either you get to gain 500 life points, then your opponent chooses 1 monster in graveyard that can be special summoned, if any, for you to special summon. So either they give you a monster, or take 500 damage, then you get to add 1 level 4 monster from your graveyard to your hand. Okay. And then next up over here, we have the Valmonica of the Guiding Rhythm, which is a normal trap card that says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. So the first part is if you control a Valmonica monster, apply one of these effects, or if you control a Valmonica Link monster, you can apply both in sequence. So you get to gain 500 life points, then destroy a spell or trap on the field, take 500 damage, and you get to return 1 monster on the field to the hand. Oh, if this was continuous, that'd be really good. I think this would have been so much better, but yeah, maybe too OP. Next up, though, we have Valmonica of the Selecting Melody, which is a normal trap card that says you can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. So it says if you control a Valmonica monster, apply one of these effects, or if you control a Valmonica Link monster, you can apply both in sequence. So it says gain 500 life points. Also, your opponent cannot target Valmonica monster cards you control with card effects for the rest of the turn, or take 500 damage, then you can negate the effects of 1 effect monster opponent controls until the end of this turn. Okay. I like pretty valid, again, since you're able to copy the stuff anyways, dumping them, you're basically getting kind of activate them twice. So I like that. And then these are announcement reprints, Protecting Spirit Logath, and the Stained Glass of Light and Dark. I don't even remember those cards, but what do you guys think of this brand new archetype? I actually think it has a little bit of potential. I mean, being able to link during your opponent's turn using their monsters, but again, your opponent will more likely not let you go to the battle phase and attack, and let you, if they understand the archetype, they're just going to pop the pendulum stuff, and then you're never going to get your effects. So good luck. I think it'll be like actually pretty decent for like the first week that these are actually out for gameplay, but I think after people understand how to actually counter this deck, which is just get rid of the stuff, the deck folds pretty hard, at least in terms of what it looks like. But let me know your thoughts down below. If you guys enjoyed the video, drop a like on it. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on when we cover more brand new Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.